What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're talking about the Detroit Lions once again. We're talking about the 3 players that Detroit Lions may move on from after this 2019 season. So let's get it started. I actually put up 2 experimental videos before this video, my Madden 20 rebuild of the Detroit Lions, and I also put out my NBA Pistons versus Timberwolves preview. So definitely go check both of those out. Let me know if you guys enjoy those. And now we're back to the Lions content. We're going to be talking about 3 players that may not be here after 2019. Now, there's going to be a lot more players than just 3, but I think these are more interesting, more surprising ones that you may think weren't going to be gone after 2019 that could be. Now, starting at number 3, I have Mike Daniels. Now, Mike Daniels comes this low because I don't think he's as surprising as the first 2. Mike Daniels is on a 1-year contract anyway, so there's a good chance that he is not here in 2020. But there was multiple people I could have put here. You know, I was thinking of guys like Rashawn Melvin because he's on a 1-year deal contract, but I think there's a chance that we resign him. Mike Daniels, I don't know about that. See, Mike Daniels on that 1-year contract, but I just don't know if the Detroit Lions are going to give him an extension or sign him again because I just don't think with all the injuries it makes any sense. From September until Sunday, Mike Daniels didn't play at all. And then Sunday he played and he got hurt again versus the Bears. Now, we're not sure exactly how serious it is, whether or not he'll play next week. Hopefully he gets healthy because we need to see this guy on the field. No matter what he's playing for, we need to see him on the field. That definitely helps him find a job. Well, Mike Daniels has been dealing with so many injuries that it's hard to make a case to keep this man around. He's 30 years old, and he was a good player, but there was a reason why the Packers released him. Injuries were a big deal. Well, with the Detroit Lions, that's occurring again. Okay, so he was hobbling off the field versus the Bears on Sunday. He's been dealing with tons of injuries throughout the entire season. He hasn't played very much, and he's shown when he's on the field, he's definitely a presence on the defensive line, and he helps out. He's really good. But he just doesn't play because of all the injuries. And when you're 30 years old, you're on a 1-year contract, and you have injuries, there's just a good chance that team doesn't bring you back. Someone else may bring him in 2020, but I could see the Detroit Lions not bringing Mike Daniels back, maybe going younger, maybe giving someone else an opportunity, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Daniels is not here after this season. Now, into number 2, I have Kerryon Johnson. Now, this one I think is a little bit more surprising, but I think it does make sense. Now, Kerryon Johnson actually still has his contract through 2021, so there's no need, there's no reason that he would be cut, right? He's still on contract, but the problem is, like Mike Daniels, injuries. Now, this is a young running back that was drafted just a few years back in the 2nd round out of Auburn, but he's been dealing with so many injuries. In his first season in 2018, he came out with a bang, 5.4 yards per carry. He was on pace to hit 1,000 yards rushing. Then he gets injured. It's like, he's injured at the end of the year. Oh, we could have played. If Lions were in playoff contention, he would have played. So, he'll be fine. He said he was fine coming in the next season. He came in this season, really slow start, but really no one's been able to run the ball with the Lions. But it's a really slow start. And then he gets injured again, and now he's placed on IR. So, with that being the case, we just haven't seen much of him. We just haven't seen much of Kerryon Johnson, and that's 2 injuries in 2 years. He dealt with injuries in college. This is definitely a reason to be concerned, and the Lions may be able to still get value out of Kerryon Johnson. His contract will last through 2021. So, the Detroit Lions could potentially look for a trade, maybe for Kerryon Johnson, look to trade this young man away. Is it tough to trade away really a 2-year player in the NFL that's shown he has a lot of talent, but he can't stay healthy? Is that always the right move? Sometimes it's not, but I can see the Lions taking that risk and saying, look, we got to get what we can out of this man now because he's dealing with so many injuries. It's just a problem. Now, this is kind of similar to a lot of running backs. You see a lot of players that just deal with injuries constantly, and it really hurts their career. I hope, and I really do hope that this is not the case for Kerryon. Whether or not he's with us or he goes somewhere else, I hope it's not the case that he has to deal with injuries because it's just not right. It's not fair that he has to do that for his entire career. But there is a chance the Detroit Lions move on from him just because of that reason. 2018 was great. 2019 a slow start. And then on IR, the Detroit Lions just maybe already looking at some options. Now, they didn't go make a trade at the trade deadline, so maybe that shows they are still confident that Kerryon is going to be a future running back for them. This offseason will bring the Lions an opportunity to have a lot of options at running back, whether it's what they wanted to go get a free agent or they want to draft one like Jonathan Taylor, who all of you guys like. So that could be the Lions' option after the season. He comes in number 2. Now, finally, coming in number 1, I have Jarrad Davis. Now, Jarrad Davis, you wouldn't think this man would be off the Detroit Lions, but he has struggled this year, and coming into our last game, he only had 32 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. He definitely took a dip. Now, this man blitzes a lot. So the fact that he only has 1 sack for how many times he blitzes is a big problem. His last season, not this season, the season before was very good. I believe he had 5.5 sacks and 100 tackles. He was very good. This season, he just hasn't played that way, and he struggled this year. Now, the Detroit Lions love this man. The Detroit Lions absolutely love him. They love his energy. They love his motor. They think he has a lot of heart. He plays very hard, which I can agree with all of those. The problem is he makes a lot of mistakes, and, that's just something that you can't have in the NFL. He misses a lot of tackles. He makes a lot of mistakes. He struggles in coverage. Yes, he plays hard, and yes, the Lions love him, and they utilize him a lot, but unless you try him out in a different position, like outside linebacker, which we've been asking for, then maybe he just isn't the guy for the Lions in the future. I'm not exactly sure. Now, he does have his contract through 2020, so there's really no need, but they will have to make a decision after that on what they want to do with this young player at the linebacker position. He was a former first-round pick out of Florida, so it's always hard to get rid of your first-round pick. But sometimes you just mess up. Sometimes you make the wrong pick. We've seen it with T. Saber, right? His second-round pick just didn't last. He's not even with the Detroit Lions there anymore after being drafted in 2017. He was our second-round pick, and he's not even with the Lions. That's just how crazy things can happen. There's a chance that Jarrad Davis comes into that category as well. I hope not. I really like Jarrad Davis. I love his energy. I love his motor. I love his heart. I think he shows so much heart on the field, and he is a captain. He's a leader of this defense. But the problem is, when he makes so many mistakes and he's struggling, sometimes you just have to look elsewhere, right? Linebackers have not been perfect this year, and this offseason is an opportunity for the Lions once again to look for replacement options. So we'll see what they do, but those are my 3 players that the Lions could release, the Lions could move on from, whether it's, Mike Daniels not giving him a new contract or trading some of these players, whatever it may be this offseason. Let me hear your thoughts and comments below. Thank you, Prop, for watching. Please go check out the other videos. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm out.